Sam's is the Walmart's imitation of Costco. It's their warehouse store. Things are cheap, but the quality is horrible. I like Costco because whatever I buy at Costco is always high quality. Plus, all those samples. Oh man. Whenever I go there, I make sure that I'm hungry so that I kind of go with the samples. And you can get really good stuff. I mean, I buy coffee for my espresso. There is this blend called Velvet Moon. I pay $11 for 2 pounds of coffee, and it's very good quality coffee. Would I have preferred Vienna Roast? Sure, but Vienna Roast, I can't find it in Costco. It's $16 a pound at Coffee Times. This is a place off of Nicholas in Lexington. If you guys are actually coffee aficionados, you want high quality coffee, go there. It's on Regency Street, I think. It's right behind the Honda dealership. Vienna Roast is my weakness when it comes to coffee. Every once in a while, I go there, I get a pound, and I make my espresso with that. Ooh, so good. If you want to pay $50 a pound, they have Jamaica Blue Mountain, but I don't. Or, you know, Kenyan or Ethiopian. All right, I got about 30 minutes. Let's talk about the growth ratios. These are ratios that tells us how much we could expect a firm to be able to grow. These are not predictions. These are the maximum growth rates that they could have under certain assumptions. Okay. First, we're going to start with internal growth ratio. It basically says if you are to use only your internal resources, the income that you generate from the firm and you get to keep in the firm, what is the maximum growth rate that you could achieve provided certain things are constant? For example, return on assets and the rate at which you pay dividends. So let's write that down. IGR, which is short for internal growth rate. And the formula is relatively simple. ROA times retention ratio. We're going to define what that means. 1 minus ROA times retention ratio. In fact, I'm going to define something called A. And retention ratio is sometimes it's also known as the plowback ratio. That's equal to 1 minus cash dividends divided by net income. So what portion of the net income do you get to keep in the company? Or you can think of that as one. That ratio is called the dividend payout ratio, cash dividends over net income. 1 minus dividend payout ratio. So that's DPR, right? So I can simplify the expression of as A minus 1 minus A, right? Again, this assumes two things. One, ROA is going to stay the same, dividend payout ratio is going to stay the same, and you are not going to issue any new securities, either debt or equity. All you have is whatever you generated internally. For example, if a company has a policy that says every quarter, whatever net income I have, I'm going to distribute it as dividends. What would be the internal growth ratio? I mean, you can do the math, but think of the logic of it. Do you have any internal resources then? No, because you're distributing everything. That means the company cannot grow. So internal growth ratio would be exactly zero. So in general, the higher is the dividend payout ratio, the lower is the internal growth ratio, because you get to keep less in the company, so you have less things to work with. Let's calculate we know the ROAs for Walmart and Costco. Work with me. This is company, or let's calculate uh, retention ratios. Again, all I have to do is go upstairs. 756, 1029. To get the retention ratio, I need to find out. Actually, let's go ahead and record net income here. 19,676, 7576. So dividends. Where you find dividends in financial statements, you do not find them in the income statement. You find them in the statement of cash flows. Okay. So you go to cash flow. We're gonna do quarterly. If this was an accounting class, I would have told you the logic or why we even have a statement of cash flows. To me, it's completely unnecessary, but accountants love that statement. You're gonna go to investing cash flow. No, I'm sorry, financing cash flow. Right here, you're gonna find an item called cash dividends paid. It's negative because you paid them. So we're gonna use 8561 for Walmart. And, oh, this was Costco. I'm sorry. Man, they pay a lot of dividends. Yeah, these are in thousands. 8651. In fact, for Costco, retention ratio actually is going to be negative. And let's find the same number for Walmart. By the way, in finance, yahoo.com, you could change the ticker by simply going to the title page. It's a shortcut. I don't have to go through the financials tab. It still takes me to annual one. And Walmart page 6538. So let's calculate the retention ratios. For Costco, that would be 75. 76 divided by -1. No, I did it wrong. 86.51 divided by 75.76. I'm gonna negate that. +1. So they have a negative retention ratio for Walmart. I'm gonna take net income 19, not net income. Dividends 65.38 divided by net income. That's dividend payout ratio. Make that negative +1.